All right. Shalom Akim. First and foremost, as always, I would love to give all the praises, honor, and the glory unto Yahawah Bashem, YAHAWASHI, Bashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and then to the elders, a great millstone, GMS, who taught me this truth. And honors to the brethren and the Akim out there that has been pushing out this truth with all sincerity and in faith, and the Wadi Yahawah, Bashem, YAHAWASHI, for allowing me to come back with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be Fire and Desire. And that is what you have to have in this truth. You have to have a certain fire and desire for it. You know how like these athletes go out, play basketball, the NBA's on, you got all these sports, fights happening, so, so on and so forth. They have a certain fire and desire for that, for the passion, the things that they do. And that same energy that these people, put into things that are of this world, we need to have that same mentality as they, but towards this word, towards the will of Yahawah Bashem Al-Shai, doing his will, doing the work, showing, well, let's grab that. What's that? 2 Timothy. Yep. 2 Timothy 2 and 15. It says, "Study to show thyself approved unto the Heavenly Father, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." And then that's another thing. We want to rightly divide this word of truth. Make sure that we're, saying the right stuff, because, you could get in trouble. And you ain't going to be in trouble by, man, the Most High. You're going to be in trouble with him, So we want to make sure that we rightly divide this word of truth, sing that same song, so to speak, to study, you grab this too. What is that? 2 Peter 1 and 10. And it says, "Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall." You see that? And that's where we want to, give out diligence. Which, when you look up the word diligent.
Here's the definition of diligent. Having or showing care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties.
And that's what you want to have. Show care for the work. For the gospel's sake. Hard work, Be diligent. So coming back here, wherefore the rather, brethren, 2 Peter 1 and 10, "Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall." And that's right. And that's why we want to continue, continue to strive for this truth. All right. Matter of fact, and you being diligent, you obeying the Heavenly Father, you obeying Yahawah Bashem Al-Shai in his ways. That's how you get understanding, Like, for instance, it just came to my mind, I was going to grab Joshua, but I'll probably still grab it, but I wanted to grab this real quick. Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, 26th verse, it says, "If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee." See that? And that's the thing, you want to keep the commandments. That's how you get the wisdom, and wisdom is a principal thing. Wisdom is something that is very precious, especially when it comes to the wisdom and knowledge of Yahawah Bashem Al-Shai, This book of Joshua 22 and 5. And it says, "But take diligent heed to do the commandment and the law." And that's what we do, to the best of our ability, of course, And it says, "Which Moses, the servant of the Lord, charged you, to love the Lord your power, and to walk in all his ways, and to keep the commandments, and to cleave unto him, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. And this is what we want to do. You know, you have to have a certain fire and desire for this, for that. You know, walking after our power, cleaving unto him, serving him with everything that we got. You know, and that's the type of spirit that you want, is as of Joshua and Caleb, because you know those were the only ones. Those were the ones that made it out. You know, as the rest of the generation, they died off. You know, because they had a different spirit. They had a certain fire and desire for YAHAWASHI. You know. What is that? 2 Peter. I think it's like towards the end almost. Here, let's read this. 2 Peter 3:14. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent that you may be found in him in peace, without spot and blameless. You see that? And what do you have to do? Be diligent that you may be found in him in peace, without spot and blameless. You know, and that's what we hope. That we're blameless before our power. You know, that we're favored upon in his sight. That would like Noah, Most High. You know, it says in Genesis, the Lord had grace upon what is that? I'll just grab it through the Spirit. I think it's like 5 and 8, or 6. I want to say, and 8. Yeah, and it says, and Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. See, and in him having that grace in the eyes of the Lord, right? You know, he was saved, him and his household, from the first death. And we want to be preserved from the second, which is, you know, right at the door, man. You know? But until then, we still have a job to do. You know, we still got to teach. We still got to preach. We still got to be diligent. You know, whatever we do, we got to do it heartily. You know, this is where I was going. Colossians 3:23. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto man. You see, so we want to do it heartily as to the Most High, YAHAWASHI, not to anybody or for anyone. You know, we're working out our own salvation with the fear and trembling. You know. And it says, and this man was instructed, which we'll read up a little bit. And it says, and a certain Jew named Apollos, born at Alexandria, an eloquent man, and mighty in the scriptures, and came to Ephesus. This man was instructed in the way of the Lord, and being fervent in the spirit. So he was fervent in the spirit. See that? And that's how we want to be fervent. Which comes from the word fever. You know. And that's what you want. You want to have a certain fever, certain fire and desire. Okay? Being fervent in the spirit, and spake and taught diligently the things of the Lord, knowing only the baptism of John. See? But he was diligent. He was fervent. And that's how we want to be. Not slothful in business. That's Romans 12 and 11. It says, not slothful in business, fervent in the spirit, serving the Lord. And that's what we want to do. Not to be slothful in business, but to be fervent in the spirit, serving our power. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. See? And this is what we want to do, brothers. Have a certain fire and desire for this. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there through the Spirit. Pray and hope that the lesson was edifying, exhorting, and also comforting. As always, I would love to give all the praises, honor, and the glory unto Yahawah, Bashem, YAHAWASHI, Bashem, YAHAWAH. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone, GMS, for telling me this truth, and honors to the brethren and the Akim that has been pushing out this truth with all sincerity and in faith, and the Wadi YAHAWASHI for allowing me to come back with another lesson. And it's on to the next one, brothers. Shalom.